अनदर थिंग दैट हम लोग को जानना है आपसे कि कितने लोग आप में से ऐसे हो कि यू हैव बीन ट्रेडिंग द इक्विटी मार्केट्स एंड आप कमोडिटीज में एंट्री लेने का सोच रहे हो या आप कमोडिटी मार्केट्स एक्सप्लोर करना चाहते हो. सो थोड़ा आप हम लोग को एक इंट्रोडक्शन दे दीजिए एंड देन
30 seconds, guys. I'll wait for your replies for 30 seconds. We'll go on mute. 30 seconds. Please type in your responses. ताकि हमको पता चले कि आपके expectations क्या हैं, हम उसी हिसाब से और in that we can conduct the session in that manner. Okay, great guys. I have a few responses. I do not want to waste much time because we just have sessions of 30 minutes slotted, so do not want to push much. So I have your responses. It says somebody says their first webinar. Welcome to your first webinar. I hope we are able to keep you interested. Asim says he's new to commodities. Ganesh wants to know about the refresh about the commodity market. Shrikant, you want to know how about to trade commodities, high prices. Dr. Ajit Kumar Pati. Dr. Ajit, yeah, this is because of the price, people do not tend to get into commodities. But trust me, if with the proper understanding, you could expect decent returns. Or commodities also could be a diversification in your portfolio, right? I'm sure that you having 80% this thing. I'm sure you'll be having 80% of, we could have a mix of equities with 60-70% into equity, some into debt, and some into commodities. That would give you a balanced profile. We'll come to this at the later sessions, how to learn, how to trade commodities. Okay. Anjali, being honest, we would not be telling you proper strategies as to how you trade commodities. That is something, strategies and how to trade, what are different parts of trading, what can be looked into commodities is what we can give you an understanding of, what strategies to build up, how to trade in that, and things like that would be an individual perspective as such. Excuse me for a minute, guys. I'm sorry for that interruption, guys. So, how to start trading commodities? Great. Okay. The topics that we're covering here: what are commodities, blah blah, commodity exchanges in India, commodities in India, why trade them, factors reporting. And all these topics are spread over the next 4 sessions. It's just a minute. I think, guys, are you able to hear me clearly? Because I just got somebody telling me that they're not able to hear me. Are you able to hear me clearly? Okay, Asim's confirmed it. Great. So guys, just going on. So me and Karan, we are sort of, somebody on the YouTube just said that they can't hear me clearly. Uh, Audio is clear, fine. Sort of, I think there will be some problem on your end. Maybe you log out and log in again because most of my listeners have said that they can hear me clearly. Guys, this is I. We are not professionals out here teaching you. We are normal individuals like you with slightly better experience in the markets. That's all it is all about. So me and Karan believe in one thing and having a dialogue kind of exchange rather than being a monologue. So there will be questions thrown at you. We'd expect you to reply. There'll be time given. A couple of replies is what I look at. So to start off this session, okay, guys, what do you think is commodities? What are commodities? Can anyone give me a brief idea or what is your understanding of what is commodities?
समथिंग वेरी बेसिक मतलब मार्केट वगैरह छोड़ दीजिए समथिंग
एब्सोल्यूट डोंट गिव मी मार्केट डेफिनेशन आप लोग के दिमाग में जो आता है कि कमोडिटी क्या है Sim says raw material. To some extent, yes.
So we'll take it forward. So commodities are basically anything that you consume, yeah, use in one way or the other way. Eggs, milk, meat, bread, everything is a commodity. करेक्ट सो जैसे हमारे चैट में हम लोग को दिखाई दे रहा है कि रॉ मटेरियल्स, यस देयर आर सर्टेन रॉ मटेरियल्स, उसका दे आर यूज्ड टू मैन्युफैक्चर सर्टेन थिंग्स या मैन्युफैक्चर प्रोडक्ट्स, कार्स बनते हैं उसमें से, टेबल्स बनते हैं, चेयर्स बनते हैं, कंप्यूटर्स बनते हैं, ऑल दोस थिंग्स. सो एवरीथिंग that is used for consuming is basically a commodity.
Anything that is consumed, anything
Anything.
that is consumed. So इंडिया में आप लोगों ने सुना रहेगा कि गोल्ड सिल्वर क्रूड ऑयल ट्रेड होता है. ट्रस्ट मी इन द यूएस एक जमाने में अंडे भी होते थे. आई थिंक एग्स वर द फर्स्ट कमोडिटीज व्हिच आर ट्रेडेड फ्रॉम देयर. आई एम नॉट श्योर अबाउट हिस्ट्री बट एग्स वर ट्रेडेड. पोर्क बेलीज होता है, ऑरेंज जूस
Orange
होता है,
juice.
ऑरेंज जूसेस होता है. कमोडिटीज एनीथिंग दैट इज कंज्यूम्ड. ठीक है, एनीथिंग दैट इज कंज्यूम फॉर वॉट एवर पर्पज, फॉर योर ओन कंजम्पशन, फॉर कंजम्पशन टू प्रोड्यूस समथिंग एल्स, आर कमोडिटीज.
या सो आज के सेशन में हम लोग क्या क्या कवर करेंगे. विल ट्राई एंड कवर अप टू व्हाट ड्राइव्स द प्राइसेस ऑफ कमोडिटीज.
Uh, Guys, let's know. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Karan, let's not go with the fixed agenda. Let's
Yeah.
go with the flow. 30-minute sessions. If instead of four, we might have to do five. We are open to it. As long as you guys are interested, we'll do it. Okay. So,
Yeah. So going
AJ,
ahead.
AJ, I am sorry. Other than shares, that's not a right definition. That's other than shares are different asset classes. Commodities is an asset class. So,
ओके सो हमारे डेफिनेशन में या जब भी हम लोगों ने पूछा कि कमोडिटीज क्या है, उसमें हम लोगों ने बोला था एनीथिंग दैट इज कंज्यूम. सो अगर इफ आई वाज टू ब्रॉडली डिफाइन what a particular commodity or what commodities are or how commodities are classified. So if you see around you, there are a few commodities that are extracted or mined from the earth. जैसे आपका ऑयल हुआ, पेट्रोलियम हुआ, कॉपर, सिल्वर, गोल्ड, बेस मेटल्स, लिथियम, समथिंग लाइक लिथियम जो इलेक्ट्रिक कार्स वगैरह में यूज होते हैं. सो लिथियम and silica, all those things, anything that you get from the mother earth, that is basically a hard commodity.
Yeah. So, what Karan would like to, so just implying on Karan, anything that is mined for which you have to go to the depths of the earth, not on the surface, below the surface of the earth, that is known as hard commodities. Okay. And if you see, so आप बोलेंगे यार crude oil है, why is it a hard commodity? So it has been classified that anything below the surface, any commodity which is below the surface or extracted or mined, that is hard commodities. And what are soft commodities? Anything that is above the earth is soft commodities.
So something like palm oil, fruit, rice हुआ आपका, wheat हुआ, vegetables, coffee, cocoa, sugar, anything that is grown, जैसे आशीष ने आपको बोला कि anything that is grown above the surface of the earth. Correct. So that is basically a soft commodity. Now here I have a question for you. लाइफ स्टॉक, अगर मुझे बात करनी है अबाउट लाइफ स्टॉक से, इफ आई वाज टू टॉक अबाउट एनिमल्स और से लेट अस टॉक अबाउट एनिमल्स. नाउ वी डू नो समथिंग लाइक चिकन, दे आर यूज्ड इन पोल्ट्री, एग्स के लिए या मीट के लिए, एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स. ओके, सो वुड दैट बी कंसिडर्ड एज अ सॉफ्ट और अ हार्ड कमोडिटी?
Yeah, nice question, Karan. Guys, your answers, please. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Don't waste time. Your answers, please. What do you think? What do you think? Meat. Okay, I'm getting answers. I'll not give out the answers. Anyone else wants to take an attempt?
Yeah, those who are connected to us via YouTube, just put in your chats in the live chat.
Live chat, right? We're monitoring that as well. There's somebody who's constantly monitoring. Okay, most of the answers I've got it as soft commodities. Right, guys. They are soft commodities above the earth. They are produced or they are grown.
Yeah,
Right? They are not mined for, so they are soft commodities.
correct. So now that we have the distinction very clear, and I'm assuming that most of the people have understood the difference between a hard commodity and a soft commodity, let us go ahead and understand commodity trading. So before entering into trading, we would like to know what are the exchanges that are involved in trading. सो जब भी हम लोग कमोडिटी की बात करते हैं, सबसे पहले आपके ध्यान में दो एक्सचेंजेस आएंगे यार. ट्रेडिंग अगर एक चीज की अगर हम लोग बात करें, द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द ट्रेडर्स विल टॉक अबाउट इज एनएसई. करेक्ट, बिकॉज एनएसई इक्विटी मार्केट, एवरीबडी इज क्वाइट फेमिलियर विद एनएसई. बट यहाँ पर व्हेन इट कम्स टू कमोडिटीज, इट इज एमसीएक्स एंड एनसीडेक्स. ये दो एक्सचेंजेस और ऐड हो जाते हैं उसमें. Okay, so you have basically three exchanges on which you can trade commodities. Before MCX and NCDEX, there is still bifurcation as to what commodities are traded there, but that is a bit too getting too much into the nitty gritty, and I wouldn't say we bother ourselves with the rigmarole of all those things. But MCX, NCDEX, and NSE are the three exchanges via which you can trade commodities. अभी इसे कैसे ट्रेड करते हैं वो हम लोग आगे समझेंगे.
Right, yeah. So I just a history trivia, which I said that. So CME, that initially was the Chicago Butter and Egg Board, right? So butter and egg trade होते थे.
Yeah.
And that then later became as a CME. Just a history trivia. I was just trying to correct it. So CBOT. So understand, guys, as Karan said, कुछ भी ट्रेड कर सकते हैं. Anything that is consumed can be used as commodity. And as I said, इंडिया में हमारे तीन commodity exchanges हैं. MCX है, NCDX है, NSE है. NSE, Karan, if I'm not mistaken, started quite recent with the commodity
Yeah.
practices. NCA and NSE was primarily the giant when it comes to the equity markets, the derivatives market, and now NCA has also started. MCX primarily started as an exchange for commodities. So, why do we have exchanges for commodities? Okay, I'll just come to something a bit off topic. Guys, do you all know if anyone has heard of futures and forwards? What do you think is futures? What do you think is forwards? I'll give you all about 10 seconds, guys. If you all can get an understanding and let me know what is futures and forwards.
The basic difference
Yeah,
between
because
futures and
because that
forwards.
is required to understand commodities. Futures, exchange traded commodities are futures, and there are other commodities also traded, but they are also known as forwards. They say today, if there's a farmer that he's growing grapes, right? I go to him and tell him कि by December में तुम्हारा पूरा produce मैं XYZ price per quintal पे उठाऊंगा. That is a forward trade, not a future trade. The question itself is a hint, guys. If you can give me the answer, well and good. 10 seconds, else I will explain it to you.
So we are having so we are having this poll running in our YouTube channel right now. So Ashish and Karan, I just wanted to give you the glance here. कि most of the people like who are attending this session from our YouTube channel specifically, like I would say 83% are the very new to the commodity market. So as Karan and Ashish mentioned that we'll be conducting like the 4 to 5 series of the commodities market, that is every Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. So like and subscribe the channel so that you can get the notification of this.
So, guys, as we said, we'll go slow. That's the reason we kept in slots of 40, 30 to 35 minutes. Not too heavy. You go back, think about it over the week, and then we come back and we start another session.
Yeah.
So those who are attending from a YouTube or from the WebEx, if you want to see the webinar replay of this, like recordings कहाँ पे available रहेगी, you can visit to our this YouTube channel. That's a Access Securities YouTube channel, and from there you can find the commodities webinar session. So this session what we are having, that is recording right now, which will be available in our YouTube channel. After this, like at 4 p.m. it will be available.
Fine. Guys, so as I was saying, futures क्या है, forwards क्या है? So forwards में क्या होता है? It's a trade, it's a सौदा, जैसा हम बोलते हैं. बेसिक भाषा में जो हम बोलते हैं सौदा हो गया. जैसे मैंने और करण ने डिसाइड कर लिया, करण प्रोड्यूस कर रहा है, मैंने बोल दिया 2 महीने बाद आफ्टर 2 months मैं जैसे XYZ प्राइस पे ले लूंगा. Right? That's it. मेरा उसकी जुबानी हो गई. Tomorrow, if the price goes higher, Karan is a greedy guy. He says, I don't want to sell it to you. तब मैं क्या करूंगा? Because मैंने on that I have planned something else. Karan can default. Case ये वो, that's all different, right? And so that is a forwards contract. मैंने आगे उसको खरीदने सोचा. Futures भी यही है. So when I buy silver futures, उसकी expiry date, जो that expiry date, what you see contract date. So we are estimating that at that end date, what will be the price? Right, that is what futures is. Futures का price कैसे है? Spot plus your carry rate. Carry rate is dependent on your storage cost, your interest. जैसे अगर आज मैं सिल्वर लेता हूँ, मेरे को 6 महीने बाद सिल्वर लेना है, डिलीवरी लेना है अपने गोडाउन में, तो वो उसका माल ब्लॉक करूंगा, उसका एक मार्जिन लूंगा, उसका इंटरेस्ट लगेगा, वो गोडाउन का स्पेस लगेगा, सो उसका कॉस्ट पकड़िए फ्यूचर्स कॉस्ट होता है. फ्यूचर्स आर एक्सचेंज कंट्रोल्ड एंड एक्सचेंज रेगुलेटेड. आज मैंने और करण ने अगर एक्सचेंज पे, व्हेन आई एम बाइंग देयर इज अ काउंटर पार्टी सेलिंग टू मी ऑन द एक्सचेंज, राइट? He has to sell it to me if I have to buy it. That is why they are futures. Futures are exchange regulated contracts, and forwards are not exchange regulated. They are over the counter. सामने सामने खड़े हो गए, बात करते, speak with each other over the counter. Across the table we sit and we execute the deal. That's the difference between futures and forwards. On the commodity exchanges in India, we trade only and only futures because, by the very definition, futures are regulated by the exchanges. Got it, guys?
And another major difference is, जैसे आशीष ने बोला कि if I and Ashish enter into a contract, okay, it is for a particular quantity. Say for example, मेरे पास 200 क्विंटल गेहूं पड़ा है. आशीष मुझे बोलता है कि एक एक नहीं 4 महीने बाद मैं तेरे से 200 क्विंटल whatever the XYZ
दोस्तों
quantity.
ने बोला मेरे को 130 क्विंटल ही चाहिए,
हाँ.
बाकी 70 क्विंटल में क्या करेगा, उसको दूसरा बायर ढूंढना पड़ेगा, राइट? एक्सचेंज इधर बोलते हैं, जैसे सिल्वर का आपको बता देता हूँ, लॉट ऑफ पीपल इंटरेस्टेड इन सिल्वर एंड गोल्ड. सिल्वर का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इज 30 केजीज, 30 केजीज का, मैं 32 केजीज लेना तो नहीं ले सकता हूँ, मगर सिल्वर लेना तो एक लॉट लूंगा 30 केजीज, 2 लॉट 60 केजीज, 3 लॉट 90 केजीज. सिल्वर मिनी लिया 5 किलो का एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है, इट्स अ 5 केजी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, राइट? तो 5 केजी, 10 केजी, 15 केजी, मल्टीपल्स ऑफ दैट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइज. इट कैन नॉट बी अ फ्रैक्शनल मल्टीपल. That is another good point, Karan. That's another major difference between futures and forwards.
So अगर proper jargon words में मुझे बोलना है, then the contracts that you see on the exchange, they are standardized. You will never see a 32 kg silver contract or a 34 kg silver contract. It is 30 kg. आपको एक लॉट खरीदना है, 10 लॉट खरीदना है, that is on the buyer. And मतलब जो भी contract में enter कर रहे हैं उन्हीं पर है. But other than that, the contracts are absolutely standardized. Matlab, if Ashish wants to purchase 35 kgs of silver, he has to purchase one lot and then go for a mini lot. So 35 kgs.
जैसे आप लोग अभी गिविंग एन एनालॉजी, जैसे जो निफ्टी में ट्रेड करता है 25 का लॉट है, तो 25, 50, 75 आप वैसे ही कर सकते हैं, एक लॉट, 2 लॉट, 3 लॉट. सिमिलरली फॉर द कमोडिटीज, what is the lot size, what is the margin, ये सब we'll come to it when we come to the topic of how to trade in commodities, which is the last topic we cover, guys, because understand, commodities are good, it gives you good returns, but equally risky. One moment is marginalized, and it is, and another thing is, yeah. So why commodities? What's the next? So I hope you'll get the three exchanges in India that we are majorly concerned with, right? And so MCX is most of the time is hard commodities. NCDX most of the time deals with the softer commodities. So you have sugar, you have cotton, you have gorgum, and all going on in.
Yeah. So before we get into that, so Ashish, एक instance मुझे याद आ रहा है, a couple of years back. I remember, when Donald Trump was in power, and एक issue चल रहा था. If 2019 के आसपास, if people remember, क्या हो रहा था? So there was an issue between the US and North Korea. आशीष, आपको ये सिचुएशन याद है?
Oh yes,
2000,
I remember very well, क्योंकि मैं खुद ट्रेड कर रहा था, like मिले मिले पैसे और अभी अब गए.
So I'll tell you exactly what happened. So I was in the evening shift, commodity mein, and there was this tweet by Donald Trump, and yeah. So I'll not get into the specific, but there were a few instances जहाँ पे they were threatening to send rockets and all those things. I remember silver hitting a lower circuit after it being at the day's high. वो काफी high trade कर रहा था. Majority of the traders who were in profit were expecting bigger profits, and then boom. 15 minutes, silver was at lower circuit.
And guys, trust me, I was in a trade that time. I used to trade commodities years back, and I had a gold open position. The leaders are exchanging words between them. All of a sudden, I open my portfolio. I see, okay, wow, great profit. Then the greed sets in. Right, I was just 3-4 years into trading. I think 4-5 years into trading. So the greed sets in. I was like, oh wow, और profit कमाएंगे. एक रातों रात करोड़पति बनेंगे. By the end of the day, margin लग गया हमारे.
So that is why when you are trading commodities now, अगर आपको पता होगा commodity का जो trading hours है, that is from 9 in the morning all the way up to 11:30 or sometimes even 11:55, depending on whether it is daylight saving or not. So रात तक जो है commodities trade होते हैं. So if you have an open position, now I'm sure that now that we have the statistics, 83% are new to the market, new to the commodities market. If you have an open position in the commodities market, then I would suggest you not to move away from the screen. ये आपको मैं बहुत बेसिक चीज बोल रहा हूँ, and we are telling it to you at the start of the webinar because ये सबसे important चीज है. अगर आप commodities trade कर रहे हो, make sure you have the time to be glued to your chair. It is when you're in front, when you have a trade in commodities.
या गाइस कमोडिटीज का एक स्पेशलिटी है, महीने महीने मूव नहीं करेगा, अचानक एक दिन जो मूव करेगा या तो इतने पैसे देगा या तो सारा कुछ लूट देगा.
Yes.
You can see what happened in gold, what happened in silver. From a 70-80,000 boom, 89,000 to 1 lakh was what, 5 days?
Yeah.
5 days. And तब तक वो it was for ages, it was in that 60s range, then it got in the 70s range, and then got 80s range. So if you're trading commodity, guys, you need to be sharp, mentally aware. Yeah, one relaxation which I can give you, which is by experience, Karan would agree with me. A majority of the volumes start coming in after the US markets open. That's about 5:30 India time. It's not that in the morning it does not happen. Certain Indian policies also, like, I'll give you an example. This year's budget.
Yeah.
Gold market did not move across in US, but India it fell. It fell drastically. So that is when you need to know when to exit, when to enter. So you need to be aware of the situation. ये ऐसा नहीं होगा हमने position खड़ा कर दिया, हम vacation पे है. Guys, don't do that. If you ever on a vacation, I would say don't. If there is no way to monitor it on a timely basis, it's better to stay away from the market. Market आज है, जमाने से रहा है, कल भी रहेगा. पैसा आज नहीं मिला, कल बन सकता है. बट आज पैसा कमाने के चक्कर में आपका वेकेशन भी खराब करोगे, या आपका फ्री टाइम भी खराब और पैसे भी खराब हो जाएंगे. So this is an advice from me, Karan, and I think collectively we have an experience of 20 years of trading.
Yeah.
Right? Collectively between us about 20-25 years of trading, and this is our advice. Yeah, we have Rohit also, including him. I think we would cross 30-35 years of trading.
Right.
So it's an advice, guys. अगर trade कर रहे हो, commodity needs more serious. मतलब equities market, okay, I'm not talking about the derivatives market. Equities, those are used to the cash market, might not see those kind of rapid movements. Commodities will see those rapid movements when it comes to.
And especially around the election time, जैसे जैसे updates आते रहेंगे in the evenings, the moment there are comments from both the candidates, correct? आपको movement काफी swift इसमें दिखाई देगी.
And it will be boring. It will be. I'll be very honest, guys. There will be times when you'll actually think, why am I even trading commodity? Per se, I prefer trading commodities myself. Right? I have started my career with commodities, so it will be very boring. But when it comes, and because of that boredom, if you step away, trust me, that is when you'll be hit. So before we go at anything, you need dedication and time for this, right, Karan?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think, like as you guys mentioned, that it's a quite volatile. In fact, because US का आज election results भी है between that Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, so that will be the results will be also coming.
And guys, why does this happen? Because commodities आपका economy का consumption है. Your economy runs on commodities, right? Crude oil consume होगा, gold decides your country value. Silver is used in a lot of metals. Copper is used.
Copper is an industrial metal, so majority of the electronics, everything that you see, उसमें copper जो है वो काफी use होता है.
So, बाकी soft commodities आपका rice, गेहूं, sugar, everything is decides your economy. Okay, just one correction. The softs in India, the Indian rates matter a lot. तो सॉफ्ट्स आपको 5:30 बजे मार्केट खत्म होता है, 9 बजे शुरू होके, दैट इज व्हेन यू हैव टू पे अटेंशन. यू हैव टू डिसाइड व्हाट यू नीड टू डू. Softs are very seasonal in nature, so I per se avoid it. All of a sudden, the news of a bad rain might just shoot up the cotton prices, which might not be the truth. And demand, supply, crude, there are a lot of news to be followed. Right? There is US jobs data, and so a lot of news to be followed. We will come to this at a later stage as to what are the factors.
So now we'll look at how the commodities are bifurcated. अभी जो हम लोगों ने hard और soft जो देखा था, that is a very broad based bifurcation. But when it comes to commodities होगा, and you might have heard about these energy होते हैं, bullions होते हैं, then you have base metals and agri commodities. Okay, so energy की अगर मैं बात करूँ, it's very simple कि crude and natural gas, मतलब any form of energy. Correct, that comes under the energy basket. Then bullion की अगर मैं बात करूँ, gold and silver, उसे bullion कहा जाता है. Now one thing that you have to keep in mind is silver is probably the commodity that shares the status of being an industrial metal as well as a bullion. Why? Because silver के application when it comes to industrial manufacturing, like our phones and all those things, is also there. Gold का भी है, but silver
there is a lot of industrial applications of silver, but historically gold and silver have always been measured with wealth and status.
Yeah.
So they go with that. So they are bullion. energy, as Karan said, anything that is used for energy production, crude oil, आपकी crude oil से diesel, petrol जो आपकी गाड़ियाँ चलाता है, natural gas, LNG, PNG, pipe, आपके घर पे जो gas आता रहेगा, pipe natural gas, or if you're using LNG, all are forms of energy, right? That is energy. Base metals are the metals which
Yeah.
are used in day-to-day consumption for industrial purposes. Aluminium हो गया, lead हो गया, zinc हो गया, copper हो गया, right Karan?
Yeah, so if you look around you, आप बेस मेटल्स बहुत देखोगे. जैसे आपके घर पे जितने भी इलेक्ट्रिकल वायरिंग्स है, दे आर बेसिकली कॉपर. आप जिस रूम्स में बैठे हो उसके अंदर जो एक सलिया होता है, दैट इज बेसिकली अ फॉर्म ऑफ मेटल. देन थोड़ा आप if you look around the computers on which the mobile phones on which you are watching this webinar, उसमें बहुत सारे बेस मेटल्स यूज होते हैं. बट इंडिया में देर आर फोर बेस मेटल्स. इनिशियली देर यूज टू बी फाइव, बट एक जो है कोविड के टाइम में देर वाज अ मैसिव मूवमेंट. विल नॉट गेट इनटू दैट अगेन. बट एज ऑफ नाउ, aluminium, lead, zinc, and copper. These are the commodities that are very actively traded when it comes to base metals.
So guys, base metals are not only these four. We are talking about the ones that are actively traded in the country, which we are concerned with. हमको इंडिया में ट्रेड करना, so we are actively trading these, and that is what we are concerned about.
Okay. And then we have the agri commodities. Agri commodities में अगर now agri commodities majorly are traded on NCDEX. And उसमें अगर आप देखोगे, so जिसमें थोड़ी ज़्यादा है as compared to other agri commodities is something like turmeric, cotton, guar gum, guar seed.
You have palm oil also, and CPO करके is what the ticker is. The other commodities, but these are the ones which are majorly used.
Yeah. सो पल्सेस भी आप देख सकते हो एनसेडेक्स पर एग्री कमोडिटीज में आते हैं. बट वॉल्यूम वाइज अगर आप देखोगे, सबसे ज्यादा नहीं बोलूंगा, कंपैरेटिवली बेटर वॉल्यूम एक्टिविटी सीन इन दीज फोर कमोडिटीज. नाउ we'll go on to why trade commodities. So सबसे important factor है, I'll start with the second point first. So एक आपको मिलता है hedging your exposure. Now imagine a jeweler, okay, somebody like अच्छा. So commodities trade क्यों करे, अगर ये मुझे जानना है, करेक्ट. सो सबसे पहले मैं देखूंगा कि मेरा एक्सपोजर है कि नहीं. अभी इंडिया में बहुत बड़े बड़े मेटल स्टॉक्स है, मेटल कंपनीज है, करेक्ट. सो दे आर Yeah, so they are, basically into either mining metals. Yeah, there are also companies that purchase metal and make. अभी जैसे for example टाटास की अगर मैं बात करूँ, ठीक है. So Tata Motors they will purchase metal because उन लोगों को गाड़ियाँ बनाने के लिए metal लगता है. ऐसे टाइम पर suppose they have a requirement of say XYZ metric ton 1 month from now. करेक्ट. एंड XYZ फैक्टर्स आपको बोलते हैं कि एक महीने के बाद आज अगर से 1000 है फॉर दैट XYZ मेट्रिक टन मेटल, एक महीने के बाद इट इज गोइंग टू गो टू $1200. सो कैसा है कि उनका जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कॉस्ट है दैट गोज अप.
दे हैव बजटेड, उन्होंने अपना कॉस्टिंग जो है, दे हैव डन सर्टेन कॉस्टिंग. कुछ कॉस्टिंग है कि भाई हम इस प्रोडक्ट का फाइनल प्राइस ये होगा, मटेरियल जो रॉ मटेरियल है उसका कॉस्ट क्या होगा. अब आई हैव एस्टिमेटेड कि ये बैच का प्रोडक्शन के लिए मेरा जो स्टील लगेगा या जो भी लगेगा रॉ मटेरियल लगेगा $10,000 a टन. बट आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू स्टार्ट टुडे. आज का आज मैं प्रोडक्शन नहीं शुरू करूंगा, राइट. रॉ मटेरियल मंगाऊंगा, अब रॉ मटेरियल चाइना से होगा या कहीं से होगा, शिप हो गया, आते आते महीना लग गया, तब अगर प्राइस बढ़ गया, एंड इफ दैट इज व्हेन आई हैव टू बाय. सो दैट इज अ हेजिंग एक्सपोजर. गिव एन एग्जांपल ऑफ वन ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आई वाज एसोसिएटेड विद, importers of specialty chemicals, really big in India, right? Solvents and specialty chemicals. Now they used to import from the Far East. By the time the shipment arrived, it used to be 1.5 months, and the price used to happen, the sale used to happen at the spot price. आज का भाव. Now today, when they purchased, अगर क्रूड का भाव 70 है एंड वो क्रूड का भाव 75 गया तो उनको महंगा मिल जाएगा, बोलेगा आज भाव 75, उसके हिसाब से हम कैलकुलेशन करके भेजेंगे. But 70 का क्रूड का भाव, 70 crude falls down to 65. What happens to the company? Because the buyers will say, oh God, that crude price has come here, so why should I pay you for 70? So that is when they hedge. They might buy a crude oil future or sell a crude oil future. That is purely depending on the experience and their outlook of the market and various analysis they do, right? So what Karan is talking about is today we're talking about hedging exposure. So again, if I am consuming some raw material which I might need at a later date, I want to plan it for today. तो मैं आज ही उसका plan कर लूँगा and to save myself from the fluctuation of prices. कि commodity steady नहीं रहता, fluctuate होते रहते, demand and supply के ऊपर, global demand and supply, not only India. तो उस fluctuation से अपने आप को बचाने के लिए I would take a counter position on the exchange.
So classic example would be the fuel prices, correct? अभी अगर आप पेट्रोल या डीजल आपके कार में जब भी भरवाने जाते हो तो यू हैव अ फिक्स्ड प्राइस अनलेस एंड अनटिल द गवर्नमेंट चेंजेस इट. बट जितने भी OMCs हैं, मतलब जो लोग HPCL हुआ, BPCL हुआ, दे हैव टू परचेज ऑल्सो ये फ्यूल जो है दैट इज बेसिकली प्रोसेस्ड फ्रॉम क्रूड. आपका देन आपका निकलता है नेचुरल गैस निकलता है, CNG निकलता है, बट फॉर दैट यू रिक्वायर क्रूड. जब भी गवर्नमेंट प्राइस सेट करता है, इट इज सेट व्हेन से क्रूड इज ट्रेडिंग अराउंड 70. समझिए कल को कुछ बहुत बड़ा आया एंड से क्रूड गोज टू 100. नाउ हाइपोथेटिकल सिचुएशन. सो कैसा रहेगा कि द OMCs हैव टू सेल पेट्रोल, डीजल, CNG एट अ पर्टिकुलर प्राइस दैट इज ऑलरेडी प्री डिसाइडेड, बट योर इनपुट कॉस्ट हैज एक्चुअली गॉन अप. इनपुट कॉस्ट मतलब मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ कि आपने क्रूड आपने सोचा था कि 70 रुपए में परचेस करूंगा, लेकिन आज आपको परचेस करना पड़ रहा है $100 पे. $30 का डिफरेंस है एंड इट्स अ मैसिव डिफरेंस बिकॉज आपका इंपोर्ट एक या दो बैरल नहीं होता, इट्स एक शिप भर के आ जाएगा प्रोबेबली, एंड देन उसमें $30 पर बैरल इज गोइंग टू मैटर अ लॉट.
कंपनी की कंपनी बंद हो सकती है बाय अ मूवमेंट ऑफ $5.
So this is the point where you need to have a hedge. आप अगर अपना exposure hedge नहीं करोगे, your profits, your margins are going to drop, or sometimes it can also get into negative.
So that not necessarily 1:1 उनके अलग अलग calculations होते हैं. That we'll not get into it because that is not of our concern, right? The first point, why trade commodities, is that कि वो एक inflation hedge है. How is it an inflation hedge? Let's say you have an exposure to stock portfolio XYZ, right? And inflation is hit. Your rupee value is not appreciated. What is 1 rupee today might be just about 95 paise tomorrow.
Yeah.
So as inflation goes higher, your rupee value goes down. Right? When rupee value goes down, what happens is people rush towards precious metals. Right? जिसके पास gold है उसका भाव बढ़ते जाता है. Giving you a very wild example, in times of war क्या होगा? आपका बैंक बैलेंस, आपका ऑनलाइन बैलेंस, आपका करेंसी, एवरीथिंग जीरो. बट आपके हाथ में जो फिजिकल गोल्ड होगा वो आपका करेंसी होगा, राइट? इफ यू हैव फिजिकल गोल्ड, दैट इज व्हेन यू कैन यूज इट इन सिचुएशंस ऑफ इन डेस्परेट सिचुएशंस, राइट? कोविड एग्जांपल गाइस, आपको एटीएम से पैसे निकालने नहीं मिल रहे थे, राइट? सो आपके घर पे जो कैश था वही आपका करेंसी था. So that is what. So it's a protection against inflation. Something goes wrong in the market, something precious metals. So not necessarily precious metals. It depends on what kind of metal, what kind of market.
Yeah.
So it protects inflation. Right?
So as a trivia, I would अगर आपने कोविड टाइम्स में ऑब्जर्व किया होगा, करेक्ट? सो इन्फ्लेशन वाज स्काईरॉकेटिंग अक्रॉस द ग्लोब, एंड ऐसे टाइम पर गोल्ड वाज नॉट मूविंग. Okay, now I would like to leave you with this thought, and मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप लोग सोचिए कि ये क्यों हुआ होगा, करेक्ट? एंड we'll go ahead because ये पार्ट जो है हम लोग आगे जाकर आगे सेशंस में कवर करेंगे when we are talking about gold, बिकॉज ये काफी क्रूशियल है. बिकॉज नॉर्मली लोग बोलते हैं कि इन्फ्लेशन जब भी बढ़ता है पीपल रश टुवर्ड्स गोल्ड, बट समथिंग हैपेंड ड्यूरिंग कोविड जिसके वजह से इन्फ्लेशन बढ़ा बट गोल्ड डिड नॉट मूव. We know the answer, and we want you guys to think about it and come back to us with an answer. Abhi
Think of it and keep joining us for the session. We'll surely give you all the answer.
Yeah.
Third is diversification, जो मैंने start किया 100%. So I'll give you a rough estimate जो हमने recently calculate किया था. Market has given about 30-35% in the last 2 years, 3 years. I'm talking about CAGR. At the same time, gold has given about 20-25%, and there are different other asset classes. तो होता क्या है, you go on to just one asset. I'm giving you the example. Why do I go for October to November? See guys, what has happened? Market has fallen down, right? But see where is the gold price has gone. So had you had a balanced portfolio of some into the commodities like gold and silver, and some into your equities, this fall would have been balanced by the rise in the commodity prices, right? So that is a diversification. आप डाइवर्सिफाई करो. इट्स लाइक पुटिंग योर एग्स इनटू डिफरेंट बास्केट. मतलब आपका पोर्टफोलियो आपने सब जगह स्प्रेड करके रखा है. I'm not saying that commodities or equities भी है, there are bond markets and different things, that everything comes at a later time. मेजरली आप सोचो कि थोड़ा इधर ले लिया, थोड़ा उधर ले लिया, एक गिरेगा एक बढ़ेगा. Tendency for the commodity markets is basically the bullion market is usually to be opposite of the broader market.
Yeah.
Tendency, I'm not saying हर बार ये होता, most of the times.
And then we have speculation.
What is the speculation?
See, around elections, around the central bank policies. That is when the commodities are very active. Correct. So जब भी आप अभी इलेक्शन यूएस इलेक्शन आ रहा है, there is we have Fed policy. ठीक है, तभी जो है commodities में movement आता है. And ऐसे movement में making some money किसे नहीं पसंद है. ऑलराइट, सो इट शुड एक चीज आपको ध्यान में रखनी है कि आप जो भी कर रहे हो इट शुड बी बैक्ड बाय स्ट्रॉन्ग एनालिसिस. अभी हम लोग आपको वो भी आगे वाले वेबिनार्स में बोलेंगे एज टू व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स जो आपको देखने हैं व्हेन यू आर लुकिंग एट कमोडिटीज. इंडिविजुअल कमोडिटीज के अलग अलग फैक्टर्स होते हैं, बट ब्रॉडली सारे कमोडिटीज के कुछ फैक्टर्स होते हैं that we'll be covering.
And guys, me and Karan are more on the technical analysis side, and trust me, technical analysis works wonders on commodity markets.
Yeah. So एक चीज आपको ध्यान रखनी है when we are talking about technical analysis. Ashish will also agree with me when I'm telling this. So एक अगर particular asset class है जिसमें manipulation possible नहीं है या manipulation की possibility थोड़ी कम है, technical analysis works wonders in that matter.
And guys, commodity markets आज तक manipulate कोई नहीं कर पाया. People have tried and gone bankrupt. I would not want to name, but you can just put in a Google search attempts to manipulate or corner the gold market or the natural gas market or different markets. You can't, because it's a global play.
Yeah.
So to manipulate across all countries across the globe, it's just a ask which is just too difficult.
Yeah.
मुश्किल नहीं, possible ही नहीं. Right. So guys, I think we have 45 minutes into the session. I think this is the basics that I wanted to cover to give you an idea of what is commodities. इसके बाद हम आएंगे what are the factors affecting commodities and why trade in commodities. Why trade in commodities we have covered. So I think the next lecture will cover the factors trading commodities, the popular commodities in India, what are the margins required. Just I will give you also, that would not be exact margin, guys. Me and Karan will discuss the approximate margins, how you can calculate it on the back of your head. Factors affecting commodities, what are the different factors. Then maybe if we have, then the next session would be how to trade commodities and the risks, and the Q&A session. So technically 3 to 4 sessions planned, but we can slow down and as and when required. So for now, I'll park it here with regards to what are commodities. I think we've covered the basics of commodities. Guys, just put in comments if you have any questions with regards to what we discussed today.
Another thing, what we would request you, हम लोग आपसे request करेंगे कि do not ask us for
specific strategies, guys.
Yeah.
कि कब खरीदना है, क्या खरीदना है, I will never be able to tell you, क्योंकि मेरा खरीदने का टाइम जो होगा और आपका खरीदने का टाइम होगा, आपका मेंटालिटी मेरा मेंटालिटी मैच नहीं करेगा. Guys, this is one advice which me and Karan would give to anyone wanting to trade. Plan your own trade and trade your plan.
So अगर मैं आपको एकदम प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल देकर अगर मैं बोलूँ तो हम लोग यहाँ पर ड्राइविंग स्कूल चला रहे हैं टैक्सी सर्विस में. टैक्सी सर्विस मतलब आप विल नॉट ड्राइव यू, we'll teach you how to drive, you drive yourself. So that is what we are trying to do. We are trying to educate the traders as much as possible, and so that आप लोग एक informed decision ले पाओ.
And one, if I have missed, I'm sure Karan mentioned it, the commodities market is almost a 24 hours market. Yeah. Starts at 9 a.m. in India and goes on till 11:30 p.m. in the night or 11:45 p.m. in the night, depending on daylight, 11:55, I'm sorry guys, depending on the daylight saving time, right? So guys, this is about it. This is about it for today. The recording, okay guys, I'm repeating, those who came in late, those who joined in later, or those who have missed out, recording of this available, I think, within a few minutes of the closure of the session. Guys, any questions, any comments, please let us know. We're there for another minute or so.
We would also like to know if there is any improvement that you expect from us regarding the pace, language. We do try to balance it out, and if you're not able to, we are really sorry. बिकॉज कैसा होता है ना कि कभी कभी व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट उसमें जब भी हम लोग फ्लो पकड़ते हैं सो इट बिकम्स रियली डिफिकल्ट टू स्विच बिटवीन लैंग्वेजेस
Uh, there is nothing wrong. Over a period of time, we plan to come out with a session in Hindi or different languages. And मतलब अलग अलग languages का हम सोच रहे हैं. More slides, Srikanth. ये सारे slides, all these slides are proprietary. These slides will not be shared. I'll be honest on that. You could go through the recordings and make your own notes. These slides are proprietary and not to be supposed to circulate outside. Okay, I believe Manas the pace is good. Bikramjit, you said for trading silver. As I said, silver and gold basically the movement starts after 5:30 once the US markets open. That is just a guideline, not a rule. मैंने आपको example दिया budget के दिन का, the GST cut and all, and you saw what happened to gold. The US markets were sleeping that time. So as me and Karan, Bikramjit go back to what we said, we've been very specific that if you can't be on your system, can't monitor the markets regularly, please stay away. Right? You need more details how to trade practically. Please, yeah, I said Bikramji, this is we can't cover this in one session. It'll be too heavy for you to understand, too heavy for us to deliver as well. This will be done over a period of next 3 to 4 sessions, and how to trade practically. What are the different parameters to look into is what we'll be covering over a period of time. Right. So I think Rohit, me and Karan are okay. There is Divesh who says please cover also technicals and details for commodity trading. So there is technicals is not specific to commodity trading. Technical analysis, yes. As a matter of fact, it's me and Karan who are conducting the session. I think it is planned for Friday.
Yeah.
Look out for the space. Look out for our social media handles. You will see something that would be coming up with regards to technical analysis, right? Technical analysis is not specific to commodity, it can be applied across, right? So I think if any more questions, do park it with us. I will keep the comments on for some time. It will be on actually. So please put your comments. Those who are on WebEx, maybe you not. You can get onto the YouTube link has been shared. You can put in the comments on the YouTube link and we will be monitoring it regularly. Over to you, Rohit.
So just a
Yeah.
small reminder, एक as a homework जो हम लोगों ने आपको आज दिया है, that is to tell us as to why gold prices did not move up since 2020 all the way to 2023 if I'm not wrong. एक थोड़ा range bound market रहा है gold में. So वो क्यों हुआ despite inflation going higher? Now अगर आपको जवाब पता है then type it in right. Okay, I wouldn't say type it in right away because we are out of time. हमारे आने वाले सेशन में प्लीज पुट इट इन ओके इट्स क्वाइट इंटरेस्टिंग अगर आपने जो भी ग्लोबली हुआ है वो आपने अगर पढ़ा होगा या इफ यू वर इन द मार्केट्स एट दैट टाइम आई एम प्रीटी श्योर आपको ये बात पता होगी ओवर टू यू रोहित
So I think thank you Karan and thank you Ashish for giving such a great insight on commodity market. So as Ashish rightly said that commodity market आज चालू है ये नहीं कि कल बंद हो जाएगा. So request everyone that we are starting this session from the basic, that is from the scratch, and slowly and gradually we will be covering all the things that is related to the commodities market in our upcoming sessions. So next session will be on next Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Do like and subscribe the YouTube channel so that you can get the notifications of this. And we are getting a very good feedback on this that about the commodities market. That is, we are conducting a great session on this. Thank you so much for your valuable feedback.
Guys, thanks a lot for your support.
Yeah.
वन थिंग दैट यू लाइक टू रीहाइड्रेट इज अगर आपको जल्दी सोने की आदत है तो पोजीशन स्क्वायर ऑफ करके सो जाइए
हाँ, yes, agreed. पोजीशन ओपन रख के मतलब until unless the market doesn't close and you have doesn't कल सुबह का आपको आपका व्यू नहीं बनता है नींद आ गया पार्टी करने जाना प्लीज एंड प्लीज पोजीशन क्लोज कर देना वरना कल आप सुबह कल जिस दिन लॉस होगा आप मेरे और करण के नाम पे गालियां डालोगे बोलेंगे इन्होंने सिखाया इसने हम नहीं किया और हमारा लॉस हो गया.
So thank you so much, Karan, and thank you so much, Ashish. The recordings are available in our this YouTube channel, so you can go and means get the recordings of this. Also, as Karan put up the question, so the comment box will be on for our in our YouTube channel, so you can post your answers there also. So with this, signing off for today, and thank you all for your good participation, and thank you so much, and see you next Tuesday, that is at 3:30 p.m. Thank you.